So I want to talk a little bit about e-commerce scaling challenges. We've seen e-commerce companies scale to all different sizes, and now that we're working with larger companies, we're definitely seeing some of those scaling challenges. So I think number one is definitely site speed. I think companies make the mistake thinking that, you just go on this platform, you go on this hosting, and that'll just fix site speed. But site speed is a very complicated thing. There are so many variables that go into it. So I think it's something that you kind of have to always be investing in, always thinking forward in terms of what's the next thing that's going to help you scale your site speed to the next level of growth. So I'd really make sure you're working with some sort of technical expert, whether it's your own CTO, your own developers, or a third-party development team like Trellis, and always be investing in site speed. I think that's where people make the mistake, is they think site speed's like a one-time investment. That's just not how it works. The website's kind of a living, breathing thing that's constantly changing, and therefore that's affecting the site speed. Browsers are changing, devices are changing, just everything's changing so fast. It's something that you have to always be investing in. The other thing is all the third-party integrations, and I think that's something that people just make the mistake thinking that I install a bunch of apps and it should just work perfectly, but it's really not that simple. A lot of these apps have a lot of bugs. We know firsthand a lot more about that than probably the average company, and really, like, a lot of these companies are still in the early stages of building these third-party apps. So when you start to scale and grow, you're going to most likely be working with lots of different technologies, and integrating them all together becomes more and more challenging. So something to be conscious of and think about, and realize that it's not a simple thing to do that at a massive scale. The other thing that I would say that's really difficult to scale is just like the overall complexity. As you grow and increase the business, generally complexity increases. So specifically, one of the big ones is fulfillment. When you're fulfilling a few orders a day, it's pretty easy. But all of a sudden, when you're fulfilling thousands of orders a day, or tens of thousands of orders a day all across the United States or even international, it can get very, very complicated very fast. So fulfillment scalability is something I would definitely start thinking about early on, and how that's gonna, where are you at now? What's the max kind of fulfillment capabilities that you have now? And then make sure you're prepared for that next phase of growth, instead of just waiting to hit that wall and then be like, oh crap, we can't actually fulfill this growth. And now we're getting all these orders and we don't really know how to handle this scale.